Live from the Export Beer Gardens studio and brought to you as always by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda podcast for Tuesday, the 17th of September.
The Agenda podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
And since we've changed the orientation of the studio, I no longer have the things that I look at to remind myself every day that we're in the Export Beer Garden studio, because there's a sign up on the wall there.
Yep.
And then brought to you as always by Export Ultra. There's none in here now.
Well, it's behind you.
3 cans.
Yeah, it's behind you, and
great.
there's a fridge behind you that's full of it.
Yeah, well, again,
you can't see it.
I can't see it. And these are the issues.
You're a very visual focused man, aren't
I
you?
am, yeah. I'm a visual learner.
Yeah.
Yep. And I've had the visuals taken away from me, so I'm all at sea. I'll tell you what helped me learn a lot last night was our dear friend Sophie Eklund, who has run the numbers on the commentators' win percentages for the Warriors season on the ACC.
I saw that. That is someone who has either got insomnia or insane.
Well, but in her defence against the insanity case charged against her by 1 G Lane, have a go at the handwriting.
Yeah, I know.
It's incredible.
A school teacher, potentially?
Perhaps also various different colours. A lot of conjecture in the office around whether that was one of those Bic pens that's got multiple different colours on the one pen.
That reminds me of people who used to turn up to club cricket and score for you. And they would have a pencil case with the different colours, and each batsman had a different colour. Every bowler had a different colour.
Yeah.
It was people that were there who needed to do stuff like that to keep them calm.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the same.
Every now and then you'll still see guys at Black Caps games who are scoring by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's there because their brain needs to be doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know what possessed Sophie to do this. I don't know whether I'd love to hear from her whether she did this. Was this a running tally during the season? Because I don't know how she could have gone back and checked. But anyway, she's kept track of who's commentated what games and whether we won or not.
Yeah.
There's a full breakdown of the date, the round, the game, what commentators are on, and the score. And then there's a win percentages column at the bottom, which is
the combos.
Of the combos, which is quite interesting to me. So Di Henwood called 13 games, 6 wins, 1 draw, 6 losses for a win percentage of 46%. Keezy commentated 12, 2 wins, 10 losses for a win percentage of 16%.
Oh.
I commentated 12, 3 wins, 9 losses, 25%. Hurley commentated 6, 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss for a 66%.
Not bad.
Yeah. The Pantsman, the notorious Pantsman Joel Harrison, he commentated 2 games, 2 wins, no losses, 100% win rate when the Pantsman's on.
Yeah, look, this is a bit like test wickets and averages. I think you've got to do a minimum. You can't just come and do one game, win one, and have a 100% record, because I know Ben Boyce has come in with a 100% record. I reckon you've got to call a minimum of, like, especially with the Warriors, 4 or 5 games.
Now, is that because you called one game that was a loss, so you have a 0% win record?
Well, my argument there is, I cannot remember that game. When I saw that posted up, and then I got a bit of shit about, of course, you cursed one game, I was like, when did I fucking commentate a Warriors game?
Yeah.
I remember commentating the game against Newcastle
Last year
when everyone was away.
Yes.
I can remember that for sure, but I just couldn't for the life of me. And then I was getting all this shit, and I was like, and then I came in this morning, I was like, did I? And you're like, yeah. And I was like,
It was the Melbourne Storm game, and I think it was like round 2. It's the second game of the year, and it was the one where Xavier Coates scored that massive try in the corner, jumped over
fully
DWZ.
upside down.
Fully upside down,
yes.
And I seem to remember, I don't know if I said it or just thought it, but I was like, if our season goes to shit, I could probably point to this, like, because our first game we lost, then there was that game, then there was the draw against Melbourne, Manly, and I was like, Jesus. So anyway, long and short of all of that is there is now a petition circulating social media to have Pantsman and Ben Boyce commentate every single game next year and to remove Keezy from the Alternative Commentary Collective.
Yeah, I noticed he posted himself, for the love of God, get rid of Keezy. It's had like about 150 likes. So, look, the people have spoken.
Yeah. He could be the master of his own destiny there. And the Pantsman came in and said, look, it's probably going to be horrible for the ratings, but it's going to have to be him and Ben Boyce next year. Every single game.
I'm happy to roll the dice with maybe Pantsman and Di. I think Di, and I'll throw a bit of Ben Hurley in there as well.
Hurley with the 66%
it's not
success
bad.
rate. Yeah, that's powerful. And one of those was a draw, so, that could easily have been bumped up to the 70s.
And also, Di did 13 games.
Yeah.
He was more chances he was going to lose some than win some.
Yeah, well, this is the other thing we keep saying about all of these stats about the Warriors win losses. Like, yeah, they lost a lot this year, So it's not like you can't.
know, yeah.
The correlation between the two is not causation because they just lost heaps.
Yeah.
So you can't say that, this and that happened during the win, this happened during a loss. I don't know. Did you see that? We didn't talk about it yesterday. Did you see the UFC was at the Sphere over the weekend?
Yes, I did. It looked insane.
It looked incredible. The Sphere, that has to be our next beer garden tour.
Yes. What, just have beers in the Sphere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Sphere garden tour.
There you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we're off to Munich tomorrow.
I know.
I've given it no thought. I've not packed anything. I'm just kind of going to do it. But tonight...
I woke up at 3 a.m. and started thinking about it.
Did you?
I'm one of those people who will download like 5 series of a show onto my phone and not watch a second of it. I over-prepare. I like to have a lot of entertainment
Content
options.
ready to go.
It's more fear for having to sit there and just raw dog a whole flight. I just could not do it. But then all that happens is you get on there, you have a yarn for a bit, pound a few beers, you end up watching Lord of the Rings or whatever movies on there, have a sleep. You never end up using any of the...
Nah.
I carried a Nintendo Switch around Europe for a week last year. Yeah.
I didn't know you had that.
I know, because I thought I was going to jump on the plane and play Mario Karts the whole way over there and fucking touch it. I was blacked out drunk the whole time.
So we've got 12 punters coming with us, which we're going to meet them all at the airport.
Yep.
For a beer garden tour, which involves a wee, how would you say, an hors d'oeuvre in Amsterdam.
Yes.
3 days in Amsterdam. We were going to go to the Heineken factory and hosted by DB.
Yep.
And Heineken, and then pop over for 3 power days in Munich.
Yeah. That is about as long as you'd want to be there. I don't think we're going to see much in Munich. We're in the tents at Oktoberfest that whole time, which is going to absolutely rinse me out.
It's a good time. It is one of the best. It's one of the best festivals you'll go to.
Yeah, I am excited, and not as nervous for Amsterdam as I thought I would be. This close to it, I was in Amsterdam for my 23rd birthday, and that was pretty hectic. We lost an American gentleman who almost didn't make it back to the airport after he turned on the rest of the crew.
Oh, I know, that tends to happen.
That was there. Yeah. His perception of reality got altered. And he was like, I have not just been sharing alpacas for months with a bunch of Kiwi dudes. That's all bullshit. These guys have been trying to trick me. And he went rogue and then left us. But I think it's going to be much more chill than that this time around.
You think?
And I never got to go into the Heineken factory.
Oh, it's good.
So I'm excited for that.
Yep.
For that tour and just being around the canals.
Yeah, go to the Van Gogh Museum, maybe Anne Frank's house.
Yeah.
Red Light District.
Yeah. Just to check it out.
Of course.
Have a gander, have a gaze.
Yeah.
And yeah, I am. So wait, hold on. I was going to ask you tomorrow, but I'm going to ask you today. What's your costume strategy when you're flying long haul? So our first flight's to Dubai. It's 16 hours.
Lederhosen. I'm wearing my Lederhosen.
You're going in prepped and ready
I'm going
to go.
in hot. I'm going to come and set the standard for this tour.
Yeah.
I'm coming in through customs and
In a Lederhosen.
and a Lederhosen.
Yep. 16 hours on a plane.
Yep.
In a Lederhosen.
With a very thick set leather Lederhosen.
Yep. And then another couple of hours at Dubai, and then another like 7 hours
Lederhosen.
flight to, and then land in Amsterdam.
Lederhosen.
Spend 3 days in Amsterdam, then another flight, then finally the joke pays off when you land in Munich.
I'm always a fan of the long play.
Yeah,
The
right.
long play.
The long
look,
con.
in reality, I may get changed into a pair of trackies on the plane.
Yeah.
Because when you get into your Lederhosen, it can be quite tight around the thigh groin area, and
I
you don't
imagine
want to
it-
be seated for 16 hours.
I imagine a timer starts as soon as you jump in those things.
Yeah.
You got a certain amount of hours. But no, because the main thing I was going to ask is shoes or not, because I'm a big fan of just, you can't, people say, it's gross if you've got bare feet on the plane or you're just in your socks because your feet will smell. Like, no. If your feet are in shoes for 16 hours, that's when your feet will smell.
No, socks.
I'm going socks and
Not bare feet.
I'm going socks and stocks. I'm taking the Birkenstocks
Are you?
over.
Oh, the stocks.
The test Birks. Well, Germany's
a good idea.
Germany's the home of the Birkenstock.
That's a good idea. I'm going to do that too.
Socks and stocks.
In the Lederhosen.
And then land the Lederhosen. Yeah, 100%. All right, well, I think we've nailed it.
You know what? The best thing, I'll just tell you this. I can't wait to show you a certain part of the German or the Bavarian menswear is the Lederhosen, and then not woolen socks, but woolen calf warmers. So they just cover your calf.
Oh.
They are so good. You'll go, I want some of them. And they basically, you wear short socks and then when the muscle of the calf starts to go out, the fatty part, they cover that in wool.
Oh,
So they're like woolen garters that come up and just cover your calves.
I think I'll look great.
Yeah,
I think I'll look great in that.
I'm looking forward to purchasing a pair of those.
Yeah, I'm starting to get pretty excited as well. All right, we've got a very special guest on the show. You know what? I'm not even going to tell you. We're going to take a quick break and come back with our very special guest. All right, well, Lane, on this podcast, we talk a lot about South Canterbury. I know I crap on a lot about the unbeaten streak that's going on down there. And so I felt like it was only right that we needed to get someone on that was there and in the thick of it. So please welcome to the Agenda podcast for the first time ever, Nigel Walsh, coach of the South Canterbury rugby team in the Heartland. Good morning, Nigel. How's everything going, mate?
Good morning. Very well, thank you.
Can I ask, is it 35 games on the trot?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is, to be honest. Look, and it's an old cliche. It's something that we don't really concentrate on. We're a week-by-week team, and if we keep doing our job and keep putting our men to the task, and the rest of it will take care of itself, really. But, 35 or something like that. It's 3 and a bit years now.
Yeah, it's almost getting ridiculous. So you said that you don't really think about it, and obviously you never prepare to lose a game, so you're obviously not thinking about losing each of these weeks. But there must be an element of speed wobbles at some point, isn't there, after 35 on the trot?
There was a hell of a speed wobble last Saturday when we were down 28-5 against North Otago.
Oh, yeah, you're telling me, Nigel. Manaia had some money on that. He absolutely shit in his pants.
So, yeah, there was a wee bit of a speed wobble there for 20-odd minutes. I'm thinking, oh, this could be the day. But the boys dug deep and took a few instructions and went into their work and clawed their way back, which was an absolute outstanding comeback and just showed the resilience and the character of the boys to be able to do that.
Nigel, how, like South Canterbury, it's quite a large geographical big region. How difficult is it to get together the team week in, week out during the Heartland competition? And we got obviously a wee taste of it at the start of the year when you couldn't quite get up to the Hawke's Bay. How hard is it to week in, week out get these guys together?
Oh, look, it is tricky. You know, you got freezing workers, you got plumbers, you got farmers, you got, you name what.
Yeah.
And, some of the guys get called out at night and so they can't make training, and some of them may be on night shift at the freezing works and things like that. But I will say a lot of our businesses around here are very supportive of the South Canterbury rugby team and allow the boys to shoot away for a couple of hours, train, and then come back and get back into their work after training and things like that. So that's really, really much, really appreciated for the support that we get from all the businesses around the community in the South Canterbury region. But some of them travel far and wide. We get a van load coming down from the Mackenzie country to play for the Colts, the South Canterbury Colts, the South Canterbury A squad, and the South Canterbury Heartland squad. So, they all working together, and the clubs and that around the place all support it as well, and supplies vehicles and things like that to get them down to training.
Is there a bit of work to be done from a coaching perspective when you're bringing together guys from the likes of Waimate versus Temuka? A bit of bad blood there in the local comp, but then they have to come together to represent South Canterbury. Do you have to massage a few egos or keep on top of a few of the boys?
Oh, look, not really. Like, I make it very clear right at the start. It's you have your own club stuff back at home and all that sort of stuff, but our first meeting and our first training, or whenever we get together, I'll make it very, very clear that when they walk in this door, it's a green and black door, and it's no clubs affiliated, and we're walking into a new family here, and it's a tight-knit family, and it's a family we're very, very proud of, and the history that we're making and things like that. So I said all club stuff goes out the back door, and you're part of a green and black family, and we all work together here. So, and they all buy into it. They've all taken it on board, and yeah.
What is it about this team? What makes them so good, and how have they managed to be so consistent for such a long period of time?
Coach Manaia.
Look, he's there to take the good and the bad, and there's been a lot of bad, and there's been a hell of a lot of good. Don't get me wrong, but to be fair, I guess it's the consistency of the players that we've had together for the last 4 or 5 years. We're this year here we've introduced our first loan player last week. Otherwise, we were 100% local. And it just shows the depth of rugby throughout the South Canterbury region and what the clubs are doing locally. But I guess having the same players rolling in and out for the last 4 or 5 years and all knowing, we spend a lot of time when going through our detail and what we want to do and how we want to achieve it and things like that. and we get them to buy into it. We also get them to deliver a lot of it as well. But also with our Pacific Island community, we make sure that we really embrace their culture and their values and things like that as well. So, it's easy to go out and play a game of footy and play it the way the old Palangi boy wants to play, but we've also got to make sure we understand how the Pacific Island boys play and want to play and what makes them tick as well. And, it's nothing, everybody knows we get down and do a prayer every night before training and after training, before game after game. And, that's just us embracing their culture and their beliefs and making sure that they feel part of the family.
Speaking of part of the family, how much of an influence has Hika Elliot been to the kind of South Canterbury family?
Yeah, Hika's a good man, to have an ex-All Black, a Mary All Black, and that coming into the region and then deciding to put him in boots and play for the Rams, Mackenzie Rams up there. And, he changed their club scene around a hell of a lot this year. And they started getting a lot of wins on the trot and the self-belief and stuff like that. So he brings a lot of mana to the team. He brings a lot of experience to the team. And he obviously gets a lot of respect from the boys too. And when he sees something, they all sort of listen and learn from Hika. And he's very, very forthcoming with some of the knowledge that he's passing on to the boys, which is huge as well. So we're very lucky to have somebody like that come into our ranks and just give it that extra boost as well.
The Shield Challenge, I want to talk about that from the start of the year. What happened there? Was it just too expensive to get up to Hawke's Bay to challenge for it this year?
Look, there's a lot of things going on with our new ground and everything like that down here at the moment. We're building a brand new stadium and new grass and all that sort of stuff, and it's taken a fair bit of money to do that. And the local community and fundraisers and things like that have done a fantastic job in doing so. But then I think it was just a little bit a push too far as a business sense to send the team up there. The air flights had doubled, the accommodation had increased and things like that. So we had to make a business decision. And, when we spoke with the CEO and the board and stuff like that, it was like, if you're running the business, would you do it? Probably not. And so we had to put on the big boys' undies and make those hard calls with the union and go with it. So disappointing for the players that didn't get that opportunity to have a crack at the Shields. Most of them have had a crack, but some of the new boys this year have missed out on that opportunity. I was disappointed for them, as probably more than for me as a coach. I've played in Ranfurly Shield challenges myself in the day and now coached in them as well. So, I know what it's like and I know what it means. And it was pretty disappointing for some of those boys, but also fully understand why the union called it that way.
Yeah, well, all things going to plan, Nigel, hopefully. The Mako can hold on to the Shield. You can take out the Heartland Championship. And then, look, if you have any trouble getting to Nelson, Manaia and I are happy to come down and drive the coaches. And we'll be more than happy to go on a roadie with the South Canterbury team up to Nelson to challenge for the Shield. Don't worry about that. We're a phone call away, Nigel, okay?
Jesus, don't you think you should come and see these boys and meet these boys before you commit to something like that?
Well, Manaia's from that part of the world, so I feel like I've been indoctrinated.
Yeah, I'm no stranger to a South Canterbury rugby bus trip, Nigel. So,
exactly.
Although I may be a little bit out of practice. Speaking of which, I grew up with like Miles Medlicott, Theo Davidson, Gus Patterson was Dan Patterson's older brother as well. Do those boys, when they come into the team, talk about the impact that I left on them coming through the ranks?
Look, you're right up the top of the list. I talk about this legend guy that they played with down there, and your name keeps popping up, and I've got you on the loan form sitting there just ready to sign over.
Like you'll be getting on tough times if you're calling up Manaia, Nigel. Jesus Christ! I mean, he's lifting a lot of weights, but it's just his anaerobic, his fitness is just absolutely shocking.
It's probably not quite up to the standards that you'd be after, Nigel. To be fair, but if things do get dire, I'd do anything for South Canterbury. So,
but actually, you talk about that. We had a couple of halfbacks in question over the weekend, and Theo Davidson was actually on standby for us and brought his kit to the ground and was ready to put the gear on and jump on if we needed him. So it just shows the boys that are not fully involved with this year, but they still want to see the team succeed and support the team, and wherever needed they'll come in and help out. So it just shows the support right across the grass.
Yeah, 100%. Well, keep me on speed dial there, mate, and keep the paperwork there. Thank you very much for your time this weekend, Nigel. Go well, and go well the rest of the season as well.
Yeah, no, we've got the big game up in Eden Park against Horowhenua Kapiti this Sunday, 4 o'clock, I think it is. So the boys are excited about going up to Eden Park and getting to have a run around on that ground. So looking forward to it, and hopefully we can get some local support from in and around the Auckland area to come and have a look.
Well, would you believe we're flying out of the country on Wednesday?
So we're not even going to be here, but make sure you pinch whatever you can from those changing rooms. There in Eden Park. They got plenty of money.
See if Kaylee Bell's floating about, she'll come down and watch.
Yeah, she'll sing one of those songs with the Waimo boys.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thanks very much, Nigel.
Cheers,
Appreciate
Nigel.
your time, mate.
Okay, guys. Thanks very much.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
What a great guy Nigel Walsh is.
Yeah, absolutely. What a legend. I mean, it took all of my self-control not to scream "fuck South Canterbury" as he left the call.
I didn't know how to approach that. Whether he knows about that.
But it's a sign of endearment. It's not.
Oh, it
I
is.
don't mean it.
Yeah.
I don't mean it. But I couldn't bring myself to do it because he sounded like such a GC.
Yeah, I know, and I don't want him catching wind that
That people are saying it.
Second thing he's heard about me is that people are saying fuck South Canterbury. And the first thing was that I was a massive influence on a lot of the players that are
Yeah, I think he was just being
playing for South Canterbury. Anyway, it is yours, please. Your chance to get involved in the show. Bottom right-hand corner of your iHeartradio app, hit the wee microphone button, record yourself a message, be part of the show, just like this caller here. Yours, please.
G'day, fellas. Just want to thank you guys for jumping on the Auckland FC bandwagon. Another team you're probably going to curse. Fuck Auckland FC. Up the Knicks.
I was waiting for the first Knicks fan to have a hoon at us.
Yeah.
And bring it on.
Bring
it on, I say, mate. We're going to be hiffing red-hot flares onto the outfield of Westpac Stadium or Sky Stadium down in Wellington when we come down there for the away derby. Don't you worry about that.
We don't know anything about soccer.
Nah, nothing.
By the way. And have no allegiance other than the fact that it's going to piss a lot of Phoenix fans off.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. I mean, I worked for FIFA for 2.5 years. I still don't know anything about football.
Oh, true. You did too.
Yeah, but I was the ultimate weapon because they would go, hey, Lane, can you do all the ops with the teams and stuff? And I had no idea any of the players were.
Oh, of course.
So I was completely oblivious to the fact I was yelling at Lionel Messi that he was going the wrong way. Wait, this way.
He's never been talked to like that in his life.
I even gave him a whistle.
Did you?
Wait. There's pitches this way.
Leo.
You little fucking midget.
Other way. Powerful stuff.
I didn't say that, but I did yell at him.
So, yeah, we are going to get him behind. And arguably, you're going to curse him, although, again, you're not leaving. The G Lane curse is when Lane leaves his hometown or where he's living to support one of his teams.
So the away derby could qualify. It could qualify. But the first game and the first home derby is going to be at Go Hard Stadium.
Yep.
We're going to take over Lily World. Owen's going to go and smash the back out of Lily World before the game.
Great spot, Lily.
Can't wait. Yeah. When you got a bar that's 50 metres from the seats.
Oh, if that.
Yeah. So out at Go Hard Stadium, make an afternoon of it. I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, bring it on.
Brilliant. One more caller here. Yours, please.
Yeah, g'day. I haven't managed to watch the old game of two halves, but could you talk about the word sneak? Could you sneak in a bit of yours, please? See how many times you can get away with saying it in the funny voice? Something like that. You'll get behind it. Love you.
Nice. That's a bit like the Tēnā Koutou challenge that Jeremy Wells did during Eating Media Lunch.
Yes, yeah.
And he rang up Michael Laws on ZB and he got him 13 Tēnā Koutou. Tēnā Koutou.
Before he got cut off.
Tēnā Koutou.
Yeah.
Tēnā Koutou. Yeah.
So we wanted to try and get a word sneak in on Game of Two Halves this week.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have to be yours, please. The only problem I have is that there is, to pull you behind the curtain, a little bit of editing for time because it has to fit in a 27-minute slot on TV. So there's every chance that I could say it and it gets cut out. Now, does that count against me?
Yeah, it does. It's got to make the cut.
So
You've got to make it count.
So
you've got to make it count. So you've got to throw it in at a good time.
Yeah.
So maybe it's during like that Truth and Dare, and you go, Matt Heath, yours please.
Yes.
We telling the truth.
Yes. Yeah.
So they can't get rid of it.
Whatever his lie is, just be like, all right, I don't think that you're telling the truth about this, Matt Heath. Yours, please.
Yeah. Yours please.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try and sneak it in.
And then they won't be able to edit it out.
I'll try and sneak it in on this week's episode. We'll do that for you. So that means you're going to have to watch to find out if it did happen or not, and then you're going to have to send in a message because we will be in Amsterdam
Yes. Physically, we'll be in Amsterdam.
Spiritually, we'll be in the seventh circle of hell, but my carcass will be somewhere in the floating in a canal in Amsterdam. So send us a message.
But we'll be doing this podcast from over there. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's no holidays, mate. No days off for the Agenda podcast. So we will be coming live from the Export Ultra Beer Garden Tour. Also, give us a hand as well, because we've been to Paris.
Yep.
The Rugby World Cup was on. We went for the Beer Garden Tour there.
Didn't see a game,
but we went there for the beer. We're going now to Amsterdam and Munich for Beer Fest.
Yep.
Question is, where to next year?
Yeah.
Where to in 25?
Well, I think the Sphere.
The Sphere in Vegas?
Yeah, the Sphere in Vegas.
We're going to Vegas for the Warriors.
Yeah, but
You're not.
So
that counts out. I mean, do we go to Austin, Texas, and go to the capital of barbecue in the world?
Yeah. What about a Super Bowl?
Super Bowl, yeah. We could go there. We could go to a Formula One.
Yeah.
We could go to a golf tournament.
Oh, yeah.
There's the Live Golf in Adelaide.
Further afield, I reckon.
Yeah, well, could go to the Masters.
Oh.
Very hard to get tickets, though.
The only problem is Augusta is not very ACC friendly, I don't think. I feel like we'd get tossed as soon as we got in there.
Formula One, I think, could fit.
Yeah.
Formula One could fit, I think. Going to barbecue pit masters in Texas would fit. We could shoot some guns and drink beer and eat meat.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
No, I was just thinking about, isn't there some place in Southeast Asia where you can blow up a cow with a rocket launcher?
Yes, there is.
I don't know if Export would be on board with that.
No, I don't think so.
But anyway, if that's something,
let us know.
Yeah, send us in a voicemail, bit of yours, please. Other than that, we will be back tomorrow. We don't fly out till tomorrow night, so we'll be back tomorrow with another episode of the Agenda Podcast.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda Podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.